talk to us about the significance of these partnerships and the bet on the Middle East.
The Middle East strategy is all just part of Twitter's broader localization strategy. So in order for it to become ubiquitous as a place for what's happening now, they need to get unique content in each region that makes it feel local to the place. So for instance, in the Middle East, that's why they're striking these deals with some of the biggest entertainment and sports companies in the region. We've seen them do that in the US, across Asia. In Japan in particular, they've been very successful in the video content area. It's actually Twitter's second largest market. And when we look at live video and video in general, the video category is extremely important to Twitter. It's actually now its largest ad format and the fastest growing one as well. Advertisers love being able to brand themselves next to this premium content.
David, what do you think is the significance of Twitter focusing on the Middle East and North Africa, given all of the other priorities that the company has, and these very pressing issues, around hate speech, harassment, violence on the platform, in addition to the need to grow?
Well, they have to grow, and this is a great place to do it. There's no question they cannot disregard those political and speech-related challenges. They're real, and I think the company recognizes they're real, and generally, I think, has been handling them a slight bit better than some of their other internet competitors. In terms of the Middle East, the brand of Twitter is super strong in that region. And, when I look at the big picture, Jack Dorsey has always had this vision that Twitter was, in some ways, ultimately a media distribution platform. It's not the way we typically think of it. We think of it as a place you tweet, and we kind of forget that a lot of those tweets are links to media. But it is really becoming a media platform, a video platform for the smartphone age. And when I heard about what they did today, I was quite impressed and feel like this is the kind of thing that could really take Twitter to a new level of respect and kind of consistency of results.
It's certainly a globalizing company. So, are investors excited about this?
Twitter has to be a globalizing company. I mean, growth has been stagnant in the US for several quarters. They actually had negative or just barely positive user growth, and you saw sometimes double-digit growth in international markets, so they really have to. I think what David said was a great point in terms of this could be a new opportunity for Twitter. But I also want to make the point that what they did in the Middle East, they did in fact do in the US, and we did see it impact daily active usage to some extent, but monthly active users was still pretty stagnant despite all of these content deals. And around the world, Twitter's biggest struggle is how do they get this overall pie of users to come to the platform every day. There's still a big gap between the daily active users and monthly active users, and they believe their answer is to strike these types of deals. And even though they're not able to get the big blockbuster deals like the NFL, which they may lose to an Amazon year after year, they are trying to be unique in terms of finding behind the scenes video shoots they can do, or after show talks and chats. So they're trying to find their niche within this broader space.
Meantime, David, sort of fun little story today. We learned that Jack Dorsey hasn't really been taking a salary, but his salary in 2018 was $1.40, symbolic because of the 140 characters that could be written in the initial iteration of a tweet. It's not necessarily unusual. I believe Steve Jobs was paid $1. Many of these founders who make a lot in terms of equity elect to not have a salary. But what's your take on this?
Well, Jack Dorsey is a minimalist in every way. We also heard just recently that he eats one meal a day. This is a guy who is just very, very, very disciplined, and he's also, I would say, unusually sort of ethical in his own mind. So he really, and actually ethical, and I think he recognizes he has made a lot on stock in a number of different companies, including many that we haven't even heard about, but certainly Twitter and Square. And
right.
he doesn't need the cash salary, and he's willing to accept that.